I had a friend, actually a loved one, that she had this repetitive pattern coming out of her in her language, and she would say two things that I just picked up on. She would say, "I'm sorry," and "I'm miserable." Now, what I did was is I kind of like broke this down for her and kind of showed her what she was doing. And like what I discovered with the word sorry was that if I have it up on a whiteboard, I write I'm or I am sorry, I am miserable. One top of the other, right? And then if I circle I am, the I ams together, group those there, and then circle the miserable and the sorry as one thing. And now I have two columns. The column is going to be the I am is where mine starts to take form. And then after the I am is where you fill in the blank. So the miserable and the sorry, those circled, that column is actually whatever possibility you're choosing in that particular moment. So you're declaring to the universe, I am sorry, I am miserable. And let me just point this out. Like what I said to her, I showed her this. I'm like, what if you knew that when you were declaring, making this declaration to the universe, I am, because you can be I am anything. It's just about whatever you're sticking in there. What if you knew that when you use the word sorry, right? Let's look at this. That everything that's in here, that is underneath here, is all attached. It's not separate. It's vibrationally attached to the word sorry, including the fact that the phonetical spelling says that you're sore. So you're physically in pain as you say this, and then you're feeling distressed, you're sad, unhappy, like all this grief-stricken. You can read all this, and I don't really want to do that right now. There's more in here. Actually is attached to the way your state is and how you feel when you're saying I'm sorry every time over and over again, admitting fault, being wrong. But what I didn't realize is that until tonight, that this is actually attached to it. So that proves the theory that as a spell, if you say I'm sorry, actually attached to the word sorry, the word miserable, because she was literally saying, I'm sorry, I'm miserable. Like she was not doing them back to back, but it was in the same like conversation where she believed she was a miserable person, and she kept saying, I'm sorry. So it was a spell that she was under. Because she was using one word, she was getting the other word too. So that means all this stuff was in there. And I can tell you, based on my experience of her, she was in pain. She was upset, distressed, dejected, down, disheartened, all this stuff, like all this stuff here. She was very, very clear, sad, unhappy, regretful, remorseful. And here's the other thing. Most people use I'm sorry as an expression of an apology, but it's not actually an apology, which is the powerful thing we're going to go over right now. So they use I'm sorry as an apology, and really it misses the mark. So let's look at the word apology really quick. Apologize. So this word is actually really cool because if you take apologize back to Greek, it means to give an account. So you're giving an account, and if you look at the word, it's also in here what it is originally is apologos. Here's what's going on. Let's just look at this. Is why you should not say I'm sorry anymore, and you actually apologize or give an apology, because here's the magic that happens. And I'm saying that very specifically. Here's the magic that happens, because you're going to see freedom and possibility in this next thing we lay out for you. I want you to see what's in here. So you have ask for forgiveness, express regret. It can be say sorry, but we're just going to remove that. That's a trap to actually go and use that again. But the ones you want to actually focus on are forgiveness, asking for pardon. And I don't know if you've done any Course in Miracles, but they talk about pardoning somebody, forgiving them, like let it go kind of stuff. If I offend you and you're trying to get me to admit wrongdoing or fault, right? And you just want to be right about it. And like, I'm okay with you being right about it, but why should I own your interpretation? But if I give you an apology, it does a number of different things for the relationship. I've often said, don't say I'm sorry, issue an apology. They're different. If you give an apology and you apologize, you're actually, if you look right here, you're giving an account. So you're accounting for the other person's story and their suffering, that they're suffering from the story that they're making up. Because if you look over here, an apologos is a story. So you're accounting for the story of the person that's offended and asking for forgiveness at the same time for it. For making it up about me. So it's me giving it to you, giving it back to you. I acknowledge it. I ask for forgiveness.
You're acknowledging their story, giving it back to them so they can be right about it, so you can move forward in the relationship.
That's it. So an apology is what gets a relationship moving again. I've often said that. Like, that's why you don't want to say I'm sorry, because I'm sorry doesn't clean up the broken dish on the floor. Apologies do. And apologies have to do with doing a clearing. You're just accounting for the stories and the facts and the interpretation. So an apology is actually that. We saw that it's actually a clearing because it includes forgiveness. It includes acknowledging the other person's point of view. And I mean, that's powerful stuff right there. So that's magic as compared to a spell. You hear the distinction? Being under a spell rather than performing magic.
Yeah, story is you're a victim when you're sorry. You're empowered by the apology and the acknowledgement.